I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different, and every breakup is different. Work with me, and you'll get professional help on your situation. Just click on the link in the description below, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about, can you salvage this mess? So, many breakups are just very messy situations. You've got all kinds of emotions that are running everywhere. Sometimes you have affairs that have gone on, legal issues that are going on. It can get pretty complicated and complex, and I know that. And sometimes you can turn those things around, sometimes you can't. And sometimes a situation needs time to kind of work itself out. And I understand that a lot of you guys are feeling anxious and you want results now, but many times that's simply not the way it's going to play out. That you may need 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year before you would be willing to try and work it out with that person again, depending upon how severe the situation is. And obviously there are a lot of different factors that go on with that. And I understand that because I do see some very challenging situations from you guys. And I could tell you that while I don't promise that you can get your ex back, because not everybody is going to get their ex back, nor should they, because sometimes a breakup leads to amazing things. But I can tell you that part of the healing process, and a big part of the healing process, is talking about it. And that just talking with me in a Skype, you're probably going to feel a lot better afterwards. Just hearing what a professional has to say about your situation and just getting it off your chest. So really consider that when you're really struggling in a situation that even if it feels hopeless, getting it off your chest and talking about it, you might feel a lot better. So, today I have a really difficult email. I'll just get right into it. This is about a guy in his 30s dating a woman in his her mid-20s. And he did tell me that he was a unemployed veteran, but he gets some benefits, so that's good. And thank you for your service to our country. I do appreciate that, and you know, the fact that you put your life on the line for all of us, that is something that not many people would do, so thank you very much for your service. He's in a very difficult situation, and when he told me a little bit about his wife, he said that she had a physically, emotionally, and verbally abusive mother. Her father left her in her early childhood, and they reunited when she was a teenager. Now, her father has serious emotional issues and PTSD, and he was verbally abusive to her. So, right off the bat, it makes me wonder, what kind of guys she's attracted to. Because think about it. Mom was abusive. Dad was abusive. She's probably attracted to guys that are going to be verbally abusive, right? She also said that mom had a slew of boyfriends who were sexually abusive to her and to her younger sisters. So you can imagine how she has no trust for men. And rightfully so. She's been abused, neglected, abandoned by her own parents. And when you can't trust your parents to take care of you, very difficult to trust anybody else. Okay? So, he told me a little bit about the situation and said that she sought a divorce last February after being separated for 6 months due to their military commitments. She's seeking a divorce now, no hesitation. There are too many problems in the relationship. He admits that he has an anxious attachment style, and she has an avoidant attachment. He questions whether if it was secure, and I would say, no way. No way it's secure. It may appear secure because sometimes the avoidance appear to have secure attachment because they appear unfazed by things, but they're just sweeping their issues under the rug. No way that somebody that has had that much traumatic abuse and abandonment in their early childhood has a secure attachment style. I would ballpark it at 1% of that happening, and even that I'm being generous. He admits that he did some crazy behaviors. He said, I couldn't control my emotions, and he was drinking alcohol, and he hacked her Facebook account and was driven by paranoid jealousy. He tried to contact her friend in an attempt to stake out a friend's place as a possible rendezvous with her date. He possibly compromised her integrity in the workplace, which made me feel worse for introducing another set of problems she had to deal with. So you can see this situation is pretty extreme. We've got him drinking and hacking Facebook accounts, getting her in trouble at work, causing problems at work, all kinds of issues. When the breakup came up, he said, I cried, I didn't beg. He did the flowers, balloons on Valentine's Day, and he's filled with self-loathing and panic. That tremendous anxiety he's feeling, the primal panic of feeling disconnected from her, is causing him to just lose all emotional self-control and become like a stalker. Okay? So, I guess he's living with a friend until this gets sorted out. He says living with a friend. I don't know if it's him or her. One of them is. At the time that he wrote this, he said he had talked to her tonight. She addressed my violation of her privacy. She asked if I hacked her account. I immediately told her the truth. I tried to see her, and her date on Saturday would show up at one of her co-workers' place because I thought she was out of town and they were going to find a private place. So you could see he is completely just, he can't think straight at all. He was convinced that her friend was going out of town, that she was going to take this new guy over to her friend's place just to find some privacy. He's lost it emotionally. He's lost touch with reality. He's just creating all kinds of crazy scenarios because he is he's on the verge of like a nervous breakdown or something here. I mean, look at his behaviors. He's just, he can't even think straight anymore. He's just feeling so terrified of that abandonment that it's causing him to lose touch with reality. Or maybe he's watched so many of my videos that he just can't take the bad jokes anymore and he's just snapped. You never know. Could be one or the other. I'm not taking the blame. If I had the money for a writing staff, the jokes would be better. So, he said he engaged in crazy behavior. I crossed her boundaries and was told I am not the nice person people think I am. We then spoke about the upcoming legal separation and my eventual return to the States from overseas. So, lots of issues going on here. He told me that they initially started off as friends with benefits and he chased her, became clingy, wrote her off her avoidant behavior, because he didn't know about it at the time, he says, of sleeping with other people while I was pursuing her because I just wanted her to be happy. So this guy is completely ignoring reality. I did a Skype coaching this week with a guy that this girl was just sleeping with everybody. And they had only been broken up with 2 weeks. He hacked into her phone when he went over to her place, found out that she had been sleeping with one guy, and they were together 4 years, and this is 2 weeks after the breakup. Been talking to 2 other guys, and just, she's all over the place. And I just wanted to shake him because he was so consumed with trying to get her back. And I'm like, dude, this is not a good woman for you. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't respect you. And he's having a hard time seeing it. I know it can be difficult. I do. I empathize with you guys. I really do. But I have to try and like shake you and snap you into reality sometimes. Like, you know, like give you that slap. Psh, psh, come on, dude. Wake up. Sometimes you guys get really just so panic-ridden. I had another guy today that was really in denial about things too. Actually, a few of them. Tough day today. I guess it's, I don't know what, is it a full moon? Is that what's going on? Does that bring out the crazies and the breakups too, the full moon? I'll have to look tonight after I'm done with this video. Okay, so he's got he admits that he is anxious and he has insane behavior of putting her on a pedestal and focusing on her needs and pleasing her. Yeah, what about you? What about your needs in this relationship? Two people, and they both deserve to get what they need. I constantly barraged her with texts and calls while she was overseas and while I was stateside. I snooped in her Facebook messages last February, meaning last month, and jumped to conclusions because of a conversation she had with a male co-worker about Plan B. Well, that would leave me feeling a little suspicious too. I don't know the details of that conversation, but doesn't sound very good, does it? Alright. Confronted her and was immediately asked for a divorce. Immediately flew to her location to try to save our marriage with some luck and some marriage counseling. Worked for about a year. Okay, so sounds like they've had marriage counseling before, right? For a year. Or it worked for about a year. Okay. He says, I don't think I can salvage this marriage. We've both done a lot of damage. Tonight's talk was the last straw. She had considered letting me stay until the end of my semester, but with my unconscionable actions this past weekend, she is asking me to cancel the rest of the semester and get ready to head home. I ordered this, I still have hope, but now I know I am not a nice person and have hurt my wife deeply on multiple occasions. Well, things must have fallen apart in a matter of hours because he ordered the coaching and I usually get it back to you guys that day at some point. So, you know, obviously what can happen is in the mornings I try and send out the email coachings, and then the evenings after I'm done, you know, spent the day doing the Skypes all day. So if I got it to him that same day, and then by the time he filled it out and sent it back to me, it had already fallen apart, man, it must have been brutal. He says, I guess my only question is if it's possible to find our way back to each other in the future and what kind of changes myself I should focus on. Well, obviously, you need to learn how to have a healthy attachment style. Awareness is key, and learning what your own particular issues are going to be huge in fixing them, because you can't fix something unless you know what the problem is, right? So that's a very important part for your healing process, is identifying your triggers, identifying what sets off your anxiety, exploring why you have that anxiety. I would highly recommend you getting a therapist for yourself to deal with your trauma, because you've obviously had a lot of trauma in your past too. He says, I am lazy, insecure, desperate, unpredictable when hurt, and I have no filter to relative strangers when it comes to sharing personal, private information. Well, that you just have to stop. I mean, giving out your personal information to strangers shows that you have no sense of boundaries and no sense of respect for your partner, because I'm sure you're giving a lot of information away about them. And, you know, I'm sure the details of it are pretty extreme based on what's going on here. Is it possible to win her back in the future if our attachment styles are what's considered toxic? Well, of course it is possible, but that would take tremendous work and growth from both of you. You both have to be committed to working on this relationship. And at this point, it doesn't seem like she wants that. And I can understand that you're absolutely terrified and heartbroken over it, and you want her back desperately. All you can do is work on yourself and work on your own issues, learning how to communicate better, learning how to give your partner needs better, learning how to tell your partner what you need in a healthy way without being anxious and demanding and trying to control them, because your anxiety has caused you to become controlling and manipulative with her. And obviously, she's been no angel too. Can it work out? Of course. If two people are really committed on working it out, it can work out. But if she's not committed at working on this, there's very little you can do other than work on yourself, heal, grow, learn, and make long-lasting changes for yourself so that when the opportunity does present itself to you, you have the best chances of making it work. So, if you want to get my help personally, go to my website, askcraig.net, sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching, and I do Skype coaching. And if you like the video, just put a like on there. It takes 2 seconds. I do appreciate those of you that do it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel because I do post videos Monday through Friday. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth, and I will talk with you soon.